All right. There is a schedule for today that is pretty freaking sure. So we had some of the Raw crew coming down to the Sam Gym. So keep your eye out over the next few weeks. Gonna see some straight up kind of not like super crazy high end professional, but it's always kind of fun getting to see all these videographer guys. Like we get to really set up lights and get a for the love of training video in. That's going to be pretty cool. But that's the plan for today. So we're going to go in, kind of run through all some new. I better hold my tongue a little bit. Some new raw stuff that's unreleased. Right? I'm not one to leak anything before it's time for a real announcement. So how about we just leave it at that? So I'm actually a little bit late. I just had to put a freaking suction cup on the thing so that it wouldn't fall off. But either way, now we're good. Now it's time to get freaking moving. So yeah, plan for the lift, which is going to be kind of a little bit later, sort of like a midday sort of thing. That's going to be chest. That's going to be throwing some chest down. So I'm not going to go too crazy. I'm not talking 4-plate bench. I'm not even talking 3-plate bench. Dieting, some guys are giving me some flack for it because I'm doing a lot of cable work. I'm doing a lot of just crossover hand over hand stuff, some relatively light squeezing, burning stuff. I still do like full stack pec deck. It's not the heaviest stack in the world, so it's that's a little bit of I guess it is still kind of relatively light, but I just don't need to go that crazy. What's my goal over these next few weeks? Actually, next few months. What's my goal? Well, I want to maintain the muscle I've already built. Good. I want to stick to my diet. Good. Woke up at 229.4 this morning. A pound lighter than yesterday. Very nice. All right, we're good there. Do all my cardio. Well, that's a given. That's not even a question. That's not anything new. I'm doing the cardio in a bulk. And then number 4 here, this one's very important. I want to not hurt myself in the process. At least in an off season, if I really pull my pec or hit my shoulder or something, at least I'm eating a crazy amount of food and my recovery is going to be improved because I've got a ton of calories flowing through my system. But dieting down, not so much, man. Dieting down, you're in the danger zone. You're in a deficit. I'm physically relying on my body's internal energy stores, my body fat, to try to make up for this literal deficit of food that I'm not eating. It's not huge. Like this isn't wow. I almost said that the guy from Castaway was Matt Damon. I know it's not. This isn't a Castaway situation where I got no food, but that still is the nature of the situation. So if you add an injury to that, well, now you're kind of really screwed because you got a few options. You can keep your diet going and kind of, hinder your recovery of the injury, or you might have to say, screw it, starting a little more food if you really want to recover well. Some people don't even really think about it like that. I feel like I definitely do. A while ago, I got my hand good. I cut it open at work, and that triggered a bulk just so I could have more energy in my system because I thought it would improve my healing factor of the injury, and I would actually kind of heal faster, which I definitely think it does. You gotta eat big to get big, and then vice versa. However that spins around, you need to eat enough food to kind of regain your strength and get back into fighting shape. But when it comes to injuries, this is something that I don't hear referenced a ton. Like this isn't always talked about. And it's kind of just because it's not flashy. Like nobody's making an Instagram reel where they're talking about getting injured, so that would make sense. Everything is so reels, shorts based right now. But if you ever get something good, let's say you snap your wrist playing freaking flag football, you rip your ACL apart, your MCL gets destroyed. I don't even know. Any version of these situations could happen. What do you do now? What do you do with your training? Do you back off? Do you say, all right, shit, I blew my knee out. Diet, cardio, working out the window until my knee's back to recovered? And that logic, at least in that way, makes absolutely zero sense to me. You know, in my mind, like if today, for whatever reason, I hop out of the freaking car, twist my ankle, completely snap my shin in half, both sides, I might not hit the gym the day of doing that. I might kind of back off just for that day. But going forward, dude, I want to keep moving. If that happened, you're going to see me doing cardio on the hand pedaling cardio machine, where instead of using your feet, you're like holding onto the handles doing this, and I'm still going to do upper body. I'm still going to do all my stuff. Like, I want to maintain my momentum. I don't want to slow down. I don't want to feel like I'm like I've got to back off and just like, oh. And I think it stems very easily from two things. For one, we always say if you're injured, you got to just back off and take it easy. Whereas, I mean, let's go back. I'm not the most primal guy. Like, that's not my thing. But let's go way back. Shit, man. You're injured in the wild. You got to thug it out. You got to get some food in your system somehow. You got to defend yourself somehow. You got to keep moving, right? As soon as you slow down, right, you're done. It's over. Now, we don't live in the animal kingdom so much anymore. We're freaking, surrounded by polyester and fake leather seats, but I think the logic still applies. Genetically, we're not really that different from a couple 100,000 years ago. We got a bunch of microplastics now, but I'm saying just at a genetic level, not crazy different, So I want to keep moving, right? If I ever kind of hit my ankle or my wrist or something, I'm going to keep up my lifts as much as feasible so that I don't lose ground. Because if you it's no secret, but if I completely stopped working out, I completely stopped dieting, I completely stopped doing all my cardio, and I ate like trash, or maybe I guess you could say I just ate like I want to eat, like in an off season when I'm just hungry. It's like, you know what, I'm hungry, let's have 5 Reese's Cups and take a nap, things like that. If that's what I did for a year, I would look pretty rough. The comparison would be jarring. From me now in shape to me in a year, what you basically just say, like, letting myself go, So it's not as though you're suddenly just big forever. Like, it takes constant effort. Like, it's a temporary state of being to be locked in. Like, you have to be doing it. So if you have some kind of setback, now here's a caveat that I respect. If you have a triple bypass heart surgery, or you get a spinal fusion or something, I'm going to give you a pass. You don't have to go do cardio that day. That's a little bit different. I'm saying just more minor stuff, like injuries to your extremities that you can work around. That shouldn't stop you. And if it does, ask yourself why. Is it stopping you because you really think that you're going to recover better if you stop moving around, stop getting elevated heart rate levels, and stop eating well? You really think that's better? Or is it just you've been looking for some kind of reason to take your foot off the gas and chill, and having this injury is the perfect scapegoat? Something to think about, right? So if you ever see anybody where they got a little something, they're walking around or when I see guys in the gym and they're in a boot and they've got the scooter and they're kind of wheeling themselves back and forth, hell yeah, that's how to do it. I haven't had to do it yet because I don't hurt myself as much anymore. I'm a little bit like more cautious because I know if I hurt myself, it's going to affect the pump. So that's kind of the logic. But if I did, and maybe let's say I got both legs and I had to come into the gym in a freaking wheelchair, I mean, there's no way to know. It hasn't happened yet, but I would assume I would still be trying to get in there doing some tricep pushdowns, even if both my legs got shattered like freaking Rock Lee, right? But I'm not asking the universe to make that happen. I'm just kind of trying to describe this mindset. I don't want to get smited right now. But yeah, I think nothing else to say. Let's just get started. So the gym clips will just be a little bit just basic ass sets, nothing too wild. But this is going to be a rather good chest day. I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about afterward. So let's stop talking about it now and actually go make it freaking make it happen. No. Okay. No. Yeah. 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 Okay. You. You. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right, actually one more. 4 of these and then we'll move on. Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll just finish with the cable like before, and then that'll be it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah. That's all. That's freaking all. No crazy pressing, but I feel like my chest is pretty much cooked, you know? So whether you cook a... I was about to say, it doesn't matter if you cook a steak on a pan or the microwave if it still ends up cooked. But that's actually not how I'm trying to say it. That's a bad analogy. All right, there we go. Yeah, so not the craziest chest day I've ever done, but that's not the point, right? The point isn't that every lift is somehow crazy insane. The point is that every lift adds up. So I think I did that today. And don't forget, I'm still trying to diet down. You know, I'm not trying to gain size here. I'm trying to maintain the size I've got and then lose that body fat layer on the outside, which is keeping me from being able to see it. But for a flat 239, I certainly don't feel like I'm only 239 right now. I feel visually like I'm 260, even though I'm 30 pounds less than that. So that's freaking perfect for me. But let's run through a few and see how we're really looking. So I feel like this is actually the freakiest that this has looked. Like, if you ever seen old training videos of Larry, I was about to say Larry Wheels, of Ronnie Coleman, when he hits like just a most muscular like this, he's got fibers coming across the side as normal, but he's also got chest fibers coming down like toward the bottom of his chest. So I'm no Ronnie Coleman, but I am seeing a little bit of that downward grain, which is sweet for me. So we're gonna get all this stuff finished up, and I'll see you in the car. All right, I'm not normally one for close focus, but this actually looks pretty freaking nuts. All right, now we can get out of here. There we go. All right, yeah, we were in there for quite a while. That's the longest I've been in that gym just for one day, because we got a whole bunch of promo stuff finished first. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. We got some future releases. 2026 is going to be rather cool. 2026 is going to have some stuff go down. That's for sure. But plan now, get back on track. It's time for cardio. And this should have been, or this would have been my morning cardio, but it's been delayed just a touch into early evening. So still going to do my 2 sessions. I've got cardio now and then another 45 minutes tonight. But it's really not that crazy. Like, I'm not doing so much cardio that I'm somehow, wasting away into nothing. And that gets overhyped anyway. Guys will say, and they really mean this when they say this, they go, oh, dude, bro, well, the cardio is going to eat into your muscle, man. I'm going to go catabolic. Really? You're going to go catabolic from 30 minutes on the bike at difficulty 10. You're going catabolic? That's your story? You're going to stick with that story? I don't know. I'm not so sure I'm not so sure I agree with that, But what are you gonna do? You can lead the lifter to the cardio bike. You can't make him pedal. Though but in terms of that actual lift, I'm feeling. Actually, in terms of feeling, I didn't really feel that good. Like, I didn't feel super strong and like super fresh. I mean, I felt like well rested from the night before, but. I didn't feel like crazy heavy or just super strong or anything, but pumped was a feeling that I did feel, even though that last set, 100 pounds or 110 pounds on the cable felt really heavy for me. The freaking pump translated. So sometimes you don't even need to have that insane, awesome, like top of the world feeling during the workout. It's all just going to kind of add up and then come together towards the pose down, because the sets that you're doing are still adding up towards your overall kind of just workload and end resulting pump. So I guess the theme of that story is don't give up just because sets 1, 2, and 3 didn't really seem like they're going your way. Keep going. You never know when you get that when you might get hit with that second wind in the gym, right? But yeah, that's oof. I mean, the videos where Jay Cutler talks about how sometimes in deeper into a prep as well, he'd come into the gym, do a couple of sets and say, you know what, this just isn't working. This just isn't. That's still a legitimate take, of course, but I think I lean a little harder towards, you know what, I don't care if it doesn't feel right. I'm still going to keep getting after it. And then kind of manhandle it and force the workout to work out. I'm not talking about if you think you're going to get injured, that's a different situation. I'm talking about just like that general feeling of like just on or off. Because if I come in, I feel off, I would like to think that I could go harder and make it so that I turn it on. Just from like brute force and willpower. And then by the time you finish your freaking workout, well, you did it. Right? You're the guy who did it, rather than the guy who said, I'm going home, I'm freaking out of here. So the stakes aren't that high. If you came into the gym and you said, you know what, today is just not, I gotta go back, I should just take a rest day, that's fine. Every so often, I could take any lift out of the last 100, and if I somehow just retconned it, boom, it never happened, I'd still be me right now. But what I'm kind of concerned with is the type of person who would take that day off, the type of person who would skip and just say, you know what, I'm out of here. what is that guy gonna do when nobody's watching? What is that guy gonna do when there's no pressure to perform? He doesn't have like a ton of motivation and hype on this day. He's like, that's not cool, you know? I want things to go my way. I want to feel totally rested, recovered, strong, fed, hydrated, ready to go. I want to feel like that all the time. But if I don't, that's okay too. I can handle it. I want to get over it and just still kind of thug it out, no matter if I don't really even feel like doing it. Because I know future me will be glad that I did, right? I'm working towards two selves. My current self right now likes to chill, likes to like just sit and relax in a current state. That's kind of what everybody wants to do, I think, in a way. But future me wants to look back at a guy who actually killed it and made a bunch of shit happen, you know? So if that's the case, well, I'm gonna be future me later. It's like putting your grocery cart back every time you get groceries, or holding the door open for someone. Treat your future self how you'd want to be treated, you know? So it's sometimes that's kind of a weird way to think about it, but I really do think it's a good way too, because I'm like, future me would like if I did my cardio and locked in on this prep and did this show. Current me wants to do it, but I know future me will also be glad that I did. And if you kind of go about your days like that, I think it gives you a little bit of a better perspective, you know? Because if you're only catering to current you right now, man, I don't want to work out. It's going to be hard. I'd rather just freaking stay home and watch YouTube on the TV and scroll TikTok and take a nap. As fun as that might be, you're not going to get anywhere doing that. You know, so just make sure you balance your chill time with a decent amount of locked-inness so that you can look back and say you did something. I mean, isn't that all we want? Everybody wants to be able to look back and say they did some shit. And if you can't, well, that's just a cue that you should start now so that in the near future you can, you know. So I'm starting this year off strong. We're getting ready for these two competitions firsthand, which more so I'm just thinking of as just my, bringing in my freakiest look ever. That's kind of the goal. And then after that, we'll just kind of see what happens. But I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I've still got to do the shows first. There's weeks upon weeks of dieting and cardio left, literal days of cardio to be done. So I'll just try to play on my phone and distract myself so that those days of cardio, like literal days, I think from now until the Arnold, I've got 4 full days either on the treadmill or the bike left. And I don't see that as a problem. That's just kind of how it's going to be. But yeah, the more I kind of play on my phone or just like scroll down different kind of Reddit rabbit holes or TikTok videos and just play Clash Royale, that time's going to pass. That time is going to pass pretty freaking quick. So if that's the case, I don't mind it. I don't mind making it into something that I'm going to enjoy having done in the future. Even if in the moment I'm like, man, this cardio is fucking tired. Or this cardio is fucking hard. I'm fucking tired. Fight against that feeling. You won't regret it. But now I'm just getting into a little bit of a ramble, so I'm going to pull up to the Planet Fitness, feed off of the energy of everybody in there while I pedal. I still need to get tennis shoes because the treadmill is starting to make my feet sore. And then I'm going to not eat too much. That's my goal. As long as I do all that today, I am freaking golden. What the heck is this guy doing? Not cool, man. Whoa. This is like what a freaking weird intersection. But either way, I hope you had a very good lift today. I hope you saw a new grain, a new cut, maybe a new vein that you've never seen before. Or if you're bulking, you hit a new weight, PR, maybe you hit a new rep PR. You finally got 225 for 11, you've been stuck at 10. Just little things like that, And make sure that if you did that, you give yourself a little self-congratulations. But don't get content. That's just one more step along the freaking way. But all done. I will see you for... What do I want to do? It's tomorrow. Do I want to do back tomorrow or do I want to do arms tomorrow? I guess we're going to find out tomorrow. So, I'll see you then.